Okay, so to speak on how my opponent's claims that fracking pollutes water supply, I found that the Environmental Protection Agency has testified that there is no proven cases of fracking affecting water, and they state that Lisa Jackson States, the administrator of the EPA, testified before Congress in May 2011 that fracking has not caused any proven issues of contamination with water supplies. Thanks to advances in drilling technologies, there are several officials who have gone to the record to state that fracking is one of the safest methods of energy extraction that are used today. And a five-year study that was conducted by the EPA has even found that fracking has not led to water contamination, and also that the fracking process occurs under most groundwater tables. So according to Crystal Aries from botanica.org, she states that most groundwater supplies are found in the first 1,000 feet of a drilling operation. Although drilling, this layer is classified as part of the fracking process, the real extractions occur much deeper in the ground, which is when care is taken to insert the casing, steel tubing, and cement. The chemical solutions used for fracking have a barrier between it and the groundwater supply. To contaminate the water above it, the chemicals need to move upward through a rock layer, and this is not believed to be possible. And then talking about how methane can contaminate the water supply, also according to the same article as before, although flammable water is often attributed to the fracking process, methane does occur naturally on our planet. Pockets of this gas can contaminate local groundwater supplies, and fracking is nowhere near the area. If a well is drilled incorrectly, methane can contaminate the water, but a lot of the time, if water is contaminated, it doesn't really say that it's due to the fracking process, but it can be done like naturally. And then water intensity used for the fracking process is relatively low. According to the same article, oil extraction, coal, or nuclear power can use up to 10 times the amount of water that fracking uses for each energy unit that is produced. When fracking is compared to corn-based ethanol, it is 1,000 times less energy intensive in its water use. And then talking about the regulations, the regulations taking place now are focusing the integrity of fracking operations and allows the government to validate the safety of these operations. According to Carol Davenport, on her article, New Federal Rules Are Set for Fracking, the regulations are set to take effect in 90 days, and this was written in 2015. It will allow government workers to inspect and validate the safety and integrity of the concrete barriers that line fracking wells. They will require companies to publicly disclose the chemicals in the fracturing process within 30 days of completing fracking operations using an industry-run website called Frack Focus. The agency also noted that it spent 4 years developing the rules in close consultation with oil and gas companies, state authorities, and environmental groups. It has also reviewed more than 1.5 million public comments. And then to conclude, according to Madeline Foote, a legislative representative for the League of Conservation Voters, she stated that this is an important step forward in regulating fracking, a process which has concerned communities across the country. And that's all. Thank you.